Episode 510. Tang Ru executed Yishu's instructions to the letter. While this approach still had significant flaws, it was more than enough to handle the two opponents in front of her. Tang Ru had the knight and the elementalist pinned down, unable to break free. They had no strength left to resist. Their only thought was to get back to shore. It was as if the water itself was harming them. Every stroke they took cost them a chunk of their health. Of course, the two of them knew it was Soft Mist relentlessly attacking them, but what could they do about it? They were already traumatized by underwater combat. Seeing Soft Mist's agile and precise movements in the water, they felt like sinking to the bottom themselves. The thought of fighting back never even crossed their minds. The knight's only effort was to wave his shield around wildly, hoping to luck out and block a few attacks. But in the face of Yishu's experienced eyes, trying to win with no discernible technique was pure fantasy. Soft Mist's attacks continued, one after another, slipping past his shield to land with brutal, bone-jarring force.
I can't.
It's no use.
Both of them had already taken their best potions, and the cooldown was still ticking. Their cleric was dead. What else could they possibly hope for?
What about the other two?
The knight's life finally ran out, his character floating motionless in the water. He knew the elementalist had gone down with him, but it seemed the two ghost blades had managed to escape. The soul's perspective slowly rose. The knight finally saw that the two ghost blades had already climbed onto the small island. They stood at the water's edge, looking out over the water with a helpless, lost expression.
What are you still doing here? Run!
The knight revived in a flash and immediately sent a message to the other two. The elementalist was a goner for sure. As for the other two, whether on land or in water, they were clearly no match for Soft Mist anymore. Not taking this chance to run is just waiting around to die. The knight was filled with nothing but regret. He should have just run from the start. That way, maybe only one would have been sacrificed, and at least two others could have been spared.
We underestimated them.
The knight was in tears. After respawning in the main city, he sent messages to those two players, then alt-tabbed out of the game to report the situation in the QQ group chat. When he entered the group, inside, the cleric was already pouring out a continuous stream of complaints. Guild leader Horse-Treading Westwind hadn't said a word, so it was actually unclear what the current situation was. Sent a crying emoji in the chat to show I was in here too.
You died too?
The cleric saw this and immediately asked. The knight knocked out a depressed, Then, the elementalist's name popped up. They weren't crying, but used a furious emoji instead.
I'm down too.
The chat group fell silent. No one replied. Meanwhile, Su Mu Cheng, relying on her initial observations, had been chasing after her target. She didn't catch the one she was after, but instead, by pure chance, she ran into a different character. These guild guys sure know how to run. They've all hidden their guild tags. But what good does that do? These characters of theirs are all in the top 100 of the 10th server's level rankings. Even if they died another 10 or 8 times, their names would still be hanging high on the front page. Su Mu Cheng saw this guy had no guild tag, so she couldn't be sure. But after checking the level rankings, she confirmed within 5 seconds that the player was definitely from the Royal Style Guild. Su Mu Cheng had only encountered 2 guilds so far. The 2 players she'd killed earlier were both from Herb Garden. Now that she was far away, the Royal Style player was secretly celebrating, praising his own good luck. But this guy, if he'd just gone straight, he would have been fine. But he just had to take some flashy, winding route, which ended up putting him right under Su Mu Cheng's nose. Talk about rotten luck. Su Mu Cheng had rocketed after him and fired a shot. Only when the water erupted did the guy spin his view around in shock, finally seeing Su Mu Cheng's wind dancer, Misty Rain, right on his tail. He thought he was safe, but this turn of events sent his mood plummeting from heaven straight to hell. Even a face-first crash landing wouldn't be enough to vent his frustration right now. Resist? That thought never crossed his mind. This player had just tried a deep dive, hoping to slip past the danger. But the moment his head plunged under, before his body could even finish twisting, another blast struck him. The water's force hurled him skyward, a stark, flashy spectacle against the lake's calm surface. After that, he never sank again. Like a stone skipped across the water, he bounced and skipped across the surface. When he finally came to a stop, that was when his life hit zero.
Got one. Looks like that's all we're getting.
Su Mucheng sent a message in the team chat while continuing to wander around, hoping to get lucky and stumble upon another one.
Should have just stuck with you.
Yi Shu hadn't seen a single soul at the dungeon entrance he was guarding. He'd already given up and was just wandering around the lake, hoping to bump into some guild or another.
I've taken down 4, and I'm chasing after the 5th now. I might just catch up.
Tang Ru was saying this, but of course Ye Shu was well aware of her situation. She was just sharing the intel with the rest of the team.
Which direction? Do we need to intercept?
Su Mucheng asked.
No need. I might run into him.
Yi Shu was wandering aimlessly, but he did have a direction in mind. He was heading the way that Ghostblade had fled. When the two Ghostblades fled, they went their separate ways. Tang Ru could only stop one of them in the end. The other, much like Su Mucheng, was only remembered by the direction they escaped in. But after dealing with this one, the other was long gone. All he could do was chase in the general direction. Seeing this, and with nothing else to do on his end, Ye Shu swam out to intercept. So now, 3 people were busy, leaving only Qin Cheng and Ma Hupao squatting on the little island, drawing lonely circles in the dirt. Yi Shu hadn't forgotten about them, sending a message in the party chat.
There shouldn't be any teams left in the dungeon now. Thousand City, Monday morning quarterback, you two should pull out as well, head to Sin City. If you run into any guild members on the way, play it by ear.
Sin City?
They paused for a split second, then immediately understood.
Sin City, of course.
Yi Shu repeated with a smile. The city of Sin Dungeon, while a tier lower than Thousand Wave Lake, still offered far richer experience for leveling than grinding on the wild maps of the lake. So, no matter what level players are at, their daily leveling routine involves running 2 dungeons, one at their appropriate level and one a tier lower. Some even run 3, including a dungeon 2 tiers down. After all, dungeons don't just offer rich experience. Their drop rates for good loot are also much higher than in the wild.
If we hurry to Sin City, we might just be able to intercept them directly.
Su Mucheng said.
All right, everyone, head for the shore. But if you spot anything on the way, don't ignore it. It's bound to be one of them.
With that, Yi Shu and the other 4, each starting from a different position, headed off in their own directions.